Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be going through my updated foundation routine, which includes my highlights and contour routine. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below, and yeah, see you in the next bit. This brow is my retarded brow, so ignore her, she just never works out. But this brow on the other hand, she good, like she's always obeying the rules. In case you're new to my channel and you haven't seen any of my makeup videos before, just to get it out of the way, my neck and my face are a lot darker than the rest of my body, as you can see. So I basically try and match my foundation and all of that to match the situation. Why can't I talk? Anyway, let's get straight into the video. Obviously, because I have quite discolored skin, you would expect that I color correct, but on a daily basis, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't normally do that step. But I feel like for the sake of the video, I might just do it. To color correct, I'm just going to use my orange shade from my MAC Correct and Conceal palette. My main problem areas are definitely these house girl lines and under my eyes. Damn, I forgot to prime. Damn it. But before I start, I'm going to use a mixture of my YSL Instant Moisture Glow as well as my MAC Natural Radiance Primer in Radiant Yellow. I really love this primer for like hydration. I feel like it gives my skin a lot of hydration and it makes my skin really supple, which I love. And it also adds a glow underneath my foundation, which I also love. Now that my skin is all primed, I'm going to use my corrector. And like I said, I'm using the orange corrector from my MAC Correct and Conceal palette. I'm just going to take that on my smile lines, my house girl lines, just to hide the darkness, so when we put our foundation on there wouldn't be a shadow underneath and it wouldn't look grey. Now that I've slightly color corrected, I'm going to go in with my foundation, and the foundation I'm using today is my trusted MAC Prolongwear Waterproof Foundation. I love this foundation because it has a really nice matte finish and it lasts pretty much forever. It literally doesn't budge. And this is in the shade NC50. I like to use an NC because it's more of a cooler tone, and I find that the skin on my body is a lot cooler than it is red. Also, I prefer looking cooler than I do warm. I really like this foundation because it blends out really well and it's the closest thing I can find colour wise to the colour of the rest of my body. I'm going to basically use a patting motion with my beauty blender and apply that all over my face. I normally start from my jaw and work my way up. I have a really weird routine of doing it, but I do my forehead after my jaw and then I do the rest of my face. But you can do it obviously any which way you like. And I really love using a beauty blender to apply my complexion products because I find that it just blends the product so beautifully. It doesn't add too much product. It really helps you build the products on your face really well, and it gives it just more of like a natural skin-like finish. Whereas sometimes I find that when I use brushes, it kind of leaves strokes on my skin, which I don't necessarily like. I just find it a lot better to use a beauty blender. To me, it just looks a lot more natural. But this is what my skin is looking like so far. What I also like to do is pull my ears back and blend around my ears. I know this is extra, but it really does help. So this is what my skin is looking like on one side. I'm going to do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. So to highlight, I'm going to use one of my favourite concealers to highlight, and that is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm using the shade Caramel. A lot of you get on me about how you feel like this shade is too light. It probably is. It probably is too light, but it's my preference. What can I say? So I'm going to apply that on the back of my hand and apply it to my sponge, then apply it on my face. I know that's really extra. I've kind of stepped away from drawing the product on my face and then blending because sometimes I feel like the product placement can be a bit off and you can't really go back and rearrange it, if that makes sense. So I prefer to have it on my sponge and then put it on my face. So I'm going to go under my eyes, on my forehead, my nose and my chin with this product, and I'm going to blend in as smoothly as possible. And I don't take the product too far out on my face because I feel like that will make your face look a lot wider. I kind of keep it in the middle of my face. But the reason I love this concealer is because it's so creamy and it just sits well on my skin. And it doesn't dry out my under eye and it blends beautifully in my opinion. With my forehead, I kind of do like a semicircle shape, using the arches of my brow as guidance. And then I'm going to turn the sponge around to where my foundation is, and I'm going to use that to blend out the edges. So you want the focus and the light to kind of be in the middle of your face and the shadows to be on the outside of your face. And I keep alternating between the bud and the spud of my beauty blender. So I'm going to take this down my nose. I'm kind of stopping right at the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to use the edges of my beauty blender to blend out the edges of those lines. Before we bake, I'm going to make sure that the concealer under my eye is really well blended so we don't get any creasing. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to use one of my favourite setting powders, the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And this is basically going to prevent creasing on the face. And I also take it on the sides of my nose. This basically gives my nose more of like a streamline look. And I'm going to take it all the way up near my brow, on my chin, on my forehead, and also down the rim of my nose. Okay, now you look a powdery, ghostly mess. You're going to bring the colour back into your face. To contour, I'm using my Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Espresso. I've got that on the back of my hand and I'm just going to dab. And I'm going to pull my ear back like my face taut. And I'm going to start from the top of my ear and bring it down 3/4 of the way into my face. I find that this way my contour looks more subtle, and by buffing it, it prevents the visibility of harsh lines. Please excuse my hair, like it's a mess, but this is not about my hair. Just placing it on my temple area and buffing it into my skin. And the closer I come into my forehead, the more of a light hand that I use. So this is what it's looking like on this side as opposed to this side, which looks quite flat. I'm going to do the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've contoured the other side of my face. It should look quite symmetrical now. I'm going to use the other side of my beauty blender and I'm going to mesh the colours all together. So with my nose, I try and keep the contouring to a minimum because my nose is quite small anyway. So for my nose contour, I'm not going to add any more product onto the brush. I'm going to pinch the brush and basically just buff under my nose to lift it up a little bit. Go on the sides slightly. So literally lift it up. And on the other side. Basically pinch my brush and do the same on the top, just slightly. To prevent like harsh lines, I'm going to use my mineralized skin finish powder in the shade Dark, and I'm just basically going to dust over what I just did, just so you can't see any harsh lines. And I'm also going to dust, or not dust, kind of like pat in the bake a little bit. I don't like to dust it away because I find like it moves my makeup. Then I'm going to set the rest of my face with this product. I'm going to go over the bits that I contoured just to marry the two shades together. And I'm going to pat over those smile lines. I'm going to dust over my forehead. And also at the bottom of my chin. Just want to buff the product in. To set my contour, I use this product here. Unfortunately, it's limited edition, but you just basically use any dark brown contour powder that you have. I'm going to use the same kind of buffing motion. This product is quite harsh, so I'm only going to keep it on the bottom of my cheekbones, just to set that cream product that was on there earlier. Don't mind my rude edges. They're speaking a different language. So to highlight, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Cinnamon. I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend it into my skin. And I'm basically just going to put it on the tip of my cheekbones. Put it on the tip. And I feel like this gives more of like a natural highlight to my skin. I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. Just on the tip. Just to make my nose look pointier. And then I'm going to put a little bit, literally a little bit, in the middle of my forehead. Give me that extra glow. I'm going to try and do something simple with my eyes. And then I'm going to come back and show you how I've been doing my lips of late. Okay, so I've done my eye makeup off camera and I've just done a really simple eye with a bit of glitter in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my lips, and for lips I'm going to show you how I do the combo that I've been talking about. So I'm going to use my matchsticks by Fenty Beauty in the shade Espresso and Suede. I'm going to put Suede in the middle of my lips and Espresso on the outside, and then I'm going to top it up with my Fenty Beauty Universal Gloss Bomb just to give it a high shine. So it's going to look crazy for the most part, but when you put your gloss on top, it's definitely going to look a lot better because the gloss basically has like a pinky tint to it. Okay, I really don't want the gloss to transfer on my teeth, so I'm going to like blot. I'm going to take a little bit of translucent powder on my neck because I don't know why I get really oily on my neck. It's really weird. To set everything in, I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm going to be quite generous with this. And then to mesh all the powders in and to give my skin more of a glowy finish, I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus spray over the top of that. Okay guys, so now that the setting spray is locked into my skin, this is the finished look. I really like the way this turned out. Let me know if you'd like to see a separate tutorial on the eyes, and I'll definitely do that for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got something out of it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye!